What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This week in quarantine, still no sports, so keeping it moving along with the content here. Uh, Today we're doing a list of the top 10 New York State wrestlers of the last decade. One of the criteria being that you have to have wrestled in the 2010-2011 season, so no 2009-2010 wrestlers. And yeah, I'm joined by my friend Carson here, who is a state qualifier himself. Um, we're going to kick right off by starting off with 10 through 6. Number 10, I have Steve-O Poulin. Number 9, Brian Real Buto. Number 8, Quentin Murphy. 7, Frankie Gissendaner. And 6, our most recent 5-time state champ, Greg Diakomahalis. Steve-O, 132-1, 3-time New York State champ. He doesn't graduate until next year. Threw him in over like an Anthony Noto or an Eric Robinson, who were 4-time state champs, strictly because of the 132-1. You know, only having one loss and just 3-time Eastern States champ as well. And he won the Beast of the East this year, which is another very tough high school tournament. In season high school tournament. Another one of the criteria I should have mentioned before I throw it over to Carson is trying to keep it to in season accolades. So like world championships and world medals, which some of these kids have, don't count towards this. Carson, what do you have for your 10 through 6?
All right, so 10 through 6, number 10, I got Steve-O Poulin. Number 9, I got Anthony Noto. 8, I have Brian Real Buto. 7, Frankie Gissendaner, and 6, I got Greg Diakomahalis.
All right, so we got some little bit of differences there. I threw in New York State's all-time wins leader, Quentin Murphy, 302-12, 6-time All-State, 5-time finals, 4-time state champ on the D2 side. You went with the Noto pick, another solid wrestler as well. Really could have thrown Noto into here as well, but went with Real Buto too. I decided to go with Real Buto too over Noto, even though he was only a 3-time state champ. To be 4-time finalist and 5-time All-State, along with an Eastern States title, 277-12. Can't really go wrong having him or Noto in there. Carson, talk about your 6 through 10 and why you have them the way they are.
All right, so I'm mainly focused on my number 9 and 10 here. Number 9, I got Anthony Noto, Section 5, Hino Falls, Lima High School. He's got 4 state titles, career record 174-6. He's had a really solid career. And then at number 10, Steve-O Poulin. Steve-O's got a really long track record here. The reason I have him at 10 is that he's got 3 state titles, and possibly he's got another year of high school, so he can gain 4. He has only 1 loss, and in high school he's pretty much dominated just about everybody he's wrestled, except for the kid he lost to, and Zach Ryder. Zach Ryder's from Minnesota Valley, wrestled him, Steve-O, in the state finals as a 7th grader, and is a name to watch for coming up through.
Certainly another name to look out for. Now we're going to start with our 5 through 1. Then now we're going to go back and forth between each of them, 5 and 5 and so on. Starting off with my number 5 of the last decade, I'm going to go with 5-time New York State champion Adam Musiello, career record of 299-9, 6-time finalist as well, and a 3-time Eastern States champ. Carson?
Number 5, we got Nick Piccinini, Section 11, Ward Melville High School. 4 state titles and finished 3rd as an 8th grader. Career record of 226-5, 169 match win streak. I have him at number 5 just because there are a few kids in here that have 5 state titles, so that's why I got him at 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick it on over to number 4 here. I have Ja'Cory Teamer, another 5-time New York State champion, 4-time Eastern States champ, and a 202-5 high school record. He holds the win over Adam Musiello in the New York State final in his first match, the first final that he had. So that I'm gonna give Ja'Cory the nod over Adam then on that one because of that. That's why Adam is 6-time finals, 5-time champ. Him and Ja'Cory faced off when they were both in 7th and 8th grade. So yeah, what do you got for number 4?
Yeah, number 4, I got Buciello, Section 11, Eastport South Manor High School, 5-time state champ, 6 finals appearances. He won out of the 6, he's won 5, and like you said, he lost a teamer, so that's why I got him under teamer at 4.
All right, and then going to third now, I have four-time New York State champ Vito Arujau, 216 and one, five-time New York State finalist, and a four-time Eastern States champ. A reason why I have him at 3 ahead of three five-time New York State champions such as Greg, Adam, and Ja'Cory is just the 216 and one. His only loss being to Yanni Diakomahalis in triple overtime in the state finals when they're both in 8th grade, and to just win, to go on a tear like that and to never lose again, quite the accomplishment. And 4 Eastern States titles too to go along with it. So, what do you have at 3?
At 3, I got Ja'Cory Teamer, Section 8, Long Beach. 5 state titles, and again, like I said before, he beat Buciello his 8th grade year to win the states. So, and he's only the second person in history to become a 5-time state champion, so that's why I put him at number 3 on my list.
Solid too. Can't go wrong with that. Number 2, I have Nick Piccinini. As you mentioned, you had him at 5. I have him down here at 2, even though only a 4-time state champ, 5-time placer, 3-time Eastern States champ as well. And like you said, the 169 match win streak. For any that don't know, 169 matches snapped because he had an ankle injury and he took 2 forfeit losses at their league tournament at their qualifying for sections already. So I have him at number 2, maybe a little bit biased from a little more of a biased standpoint because growing up and coming up through watching wrestling and covering those state tournaments that he was wrestling in, he was like one of the first people I saw as such a dominant figure and somebody that nobody wanted to wrestle at all. And yeah, that's why I gave him the nod at 2 over 3 5-time New York State champions.
Okay, at number 2 here, I got Vito Arujau, 4 state titles, and only lost to Yanni in the 99 pounds. Career record of 216 and 1, and he had a 170 match win streak. Like you mentioned before, Josh, I got him at number 2. Only 1 loss, and I think it's pretty safe to say how dominant he was in high school. If it wasn't for him wrestling Yanni, I think Vito would have been a 5-time state champion.
Yeah, certainly can't really deny that. And we both have the same number 1, so it goes without saying. We each have 4-time New York State champ Yanni Diakomahalis at number 1 of Hilton, 243 and 3 career record, 210 match win streak to end his career. Only the 4 state titles because he didn't even compete really his senior year. He wrestled about 2 weeks before he had to get elbow surgery, so that ended his season. And yeah, it definitely would have been a 5-timer, more likely than not. And he had 3 losses, all of them coming when he was a 7th grader, and then 210 matches in a row. Didn't look back, beating people like Vito to win his state championship at Eastern States. Knocked off a top 10 wrestler in Jack Mueller when he was a sophomore, I believe, and just overall dominant his whole high school career.
Yeah, undoubtedly Yanni, number 1. Section 5 Hilton High School Yanni's from. 4 state titles, like you mentioned before, was injured his senior year, so he couldn't compete at the state tournament. And otherwise, Yanni, dominant too, definitely would have been a 5-time state champion. A career record of 243 and 3, like you said, 210 match win streak. Yep, that's why I got Yanni at number 1.
Yeah, and so yeah, to go back down the list here, we have my top 10. I had Steve O'Poulin, Brian Realbuto, Quentin Murphy, Frankie Gissendaner, Greg Diakomahalis, Adam Buciello, Ja'Cory Teamer, Vito Arujau, Nick Piccinini, and Yanni Diakomahalis. What do you got?
Yep, 10 through 1, I got here Steve O'Poulin, and I got Anthony Noto, Brian Realbuto, Frankie Gissendaner, Greg Diakomahalis, Nick Piccinini, Adam Buciello, Ja'Cory Teamer, Vito Arujau, number 1, Yanni Diakomahalis.
Yeah, leave your top 10 below. If you have anything differently that you would like to add, like and subscribe if you enjoy the content and want to see more of this stuff. And thank you for watching. See you in the next video.